During dinner, my wife and I heard a strange voice on our baby monitor that said, "Hurry up, they're downstairs." My wife froze. I spit out my wine and we both charged 2 flights upstairs to our 3-month-old's bedroom. The voice we heard was not recognizable. We reached the bedroom and saw the door was locked from the inside. We heard the window sliding open and I bashed in through the wood of the door and saw 2 men. One of them was crawling out of the window with our baby son. The other one was casually sitting in a chair, aiming a gun at us. He had a long line of teardrop prison tattoos down his cheek. He was way too relaxed for this situation, which told me that he's definitely done this before. He calmly said, "Sit, let's have a conversation." We both didn't have much choice as we watched his buddy finish climbing out of the window with our child. I lunged after him, trying to get a hold of him before he went. Then his buddy in the chair shot 2 bullets into the wall beside me. "The next one will be in your head if you keep that up." I hesitated, a million thoughts spiraling through my mind every second. "Your child is safe for now. Think of this as more of a collateral situation. I'll hold him until I get what I want." I responded, "So, this is the racket, huh? Kidnap people's kids and hold them ransom for some cash?" He said, "No, this is a very different, one might say, delicate situation." He glanced over at my wife and said, "Do you want to tell him or should I?" My blood froze. I turned to look at her and before I could even say anything, she said, "This is Taz. We went to grade school together. I haven't seen him in what, 10 years? 12 actually. But I bet you wished it was sooner, don't you?" My wife's skin crawled. "Who was this guy? Why don't you tell your husband how you really know me? Cut the grade school crap and tell him the truth. I look forward to hearing your version of it." My wife trembled and said, "We dated in college for a couple months." He stared at her, waiting for more. "Is that it? Is that all you want to tell him?" My wife defiantly said, "Yes, that's all that happened." The man glared at her, shook his head and said, "That hurts, man. We shared so much more than that and you know it, but you just don't want to admit it in front of this weak-ass beach you call a husband." I had to stand up for myself and said, "Why don't you put the gun down, tough guy, and see how weak I am?" He entertained it, then focused back on my wife. "Are you seriously not going to tell him our secret?" She stayed ice-cold quiet. I was getting insanely impatient and asked, "Are you going to tell us what you want?" He barked, "I can't do that before the truth is revealed, and the only person that can do that is your pretty little deceptive wife." She stood up and tried to walk out. The man stepped in her way and got right in her face. He looked her up and down, touched his gun on her thigh and said, I'm having some sweet flashbacks being this close to you again." I stood up and he aimed the gun right at my face. I was close enough to have a shot at disarming his gun. I tried, but it didn't work. He cracked me across the face with the butt of the gun, knocking me to my knees. He got even more vicious, grabbed my wife by her neck, slammed her up against the wall and said, "Tell your little hubby the truth. Tell him right now. Then I'll tell you what I want." My wife trembled in terror. Then she finally said, "I got pregnant in college. I never told him that I wasn't going to keep it. He only found out after it was done. He tried to murder me and got caught before he could finish the job. That's why he's got all the prison tats. Because of me." He started pacing, relieved in his own sick way. "Thank you. That's what I needed to hear. Now I'll tell you what I want. A heartfelt apology and $250,000. To my surprise, my wife said, "Fine." She started breaking down and said, "I am so. Then before she could say sorry, she rushed him and grabbed his gun hand. I saw what she was doing and helped her tackle him into the window. His gun got disarmed in the commotion, and my wife and I shoved his evil ass right out of the window. He fell 3 stories down and landed hard on the concrete driveway in a crooked, contorted mess. Bones crunched and split. He couldn't move either of his legs and he shook in agonizing pain. I grabbed his gun and we ran downstairs and out front. His buddy was in a van parked right across the street. I used the gun and got my son back. The cops showed up and arrested both of them. My wife told me that he stalked her from jail and has always been out to get her.